Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you this evening? And welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we come every Wednesday to inspire, to encourage, and to empower you to live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. I'm Anna, I'm your host. I'm a retired school teacher, I'm an author. I'm an educational consultant, I'm a jury consultant. I am a consultant. I am also a certified cake instructor. So I bring a lot of experience and a wealth of knowledge to our conversation. So, in each one of the episodes that we will explore, we're going to deal or jump into things that will help us with our personal development, to development, as well as some little fun things like the art of jewelry making and all of those things that have the well-being of the individual. And so this is done by providing workshops and speakers and me just providing knowledge. My primary concern or thing that I really want to do is to help people to live that fulfilling and blessed lifestyle. So, thank you again for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, where every conversation is a treasure. So, come on, let's get started. So, we have been talking about financial freedom. Okay, and we've discussed quite a few topics on it, and from budgeting to setting goals to savings and to for investments and so now tonight I want to kind of bring all of those things together. Okay, so from the beginning, because you need all those steps in order to reach what the lesson is or the workshop or the presentation is about this evening. And it's about intentional living. Intentional living. Okay. So I'm hoping that these things have been very, very helpful to you, because some of them have been very, very helpful to me. I have learned a great deal, and it always proves that you never get too old to learn. Okay, so we're going to take a brief commercial, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about intentional living and what it is. Okay, just hold on for a few moments.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment. A perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, "I want to learn more." Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.
All right, good. We are back, and I am Anna. If you're just tuning in now, it is the beginning of our the podcast, and I'm just starting. And this evening, we're going to be talking about intentional living. Do you know what intentional living is? Hmm. Well, I got a presentation. I'm going to bring it up. Hold on. me see if I can bring it up. Intentional living. So let's discuss what intentional living is. So, intentional living means choosing how you spend your time, your energy, your money, and attention rather than allowing circumstances or other people to decide for you. It's about living on purpose and not by default. And that's something very hard to do. And as I go through this, you'll see. I think that as we get older, we live more intentionally. But as we're young, we're affected by some things, circumstances, like it says in here. Uh, but as we get older, and I don't know if intentional living is a new term or what, but I just never uh, really heard of intentional living. I've heard of intentional, but not intentional living. Okay. So that's kind of what it is. Let's move on a little bit more. Let's see if we can get a little more detail. Okay. Let me go back a little bit. All right. Let me just say just one other thing. Intentional living is the practice of living with purpose, clarity, and focus, making deliberate choices that align with your values, your goals, and beliefs, rather than simply going through the motions or reacting to life's demands. So when we say that, we're also saying, um, and that's what I meant by early on in your life, we people have a tendency to be influenced by peers, or we attach on to um, a fad, or those type of things like that. So there are some core principles of intentional living. So let's look at some of them, and I believe there's 5 of them. We're going to look at all 5 of them. So you heard me talk about clarity of purpose. The first thing that you got to do, and you've heard these words before, because you got to know what matters most to you: your values, your passion, your goals, your dreams. So you got to have clarity of your purpose. Now, I can only use myself as an example, y'all, but at one point in my life, I had clarity of purpose. I would say when I was young, or so. I'm not. This is just one example. I wanted to be a teacher, so that was what really mattered to me. And I'm still teaching to this day, believe it or not. That's what I'm doing here. But I had a passion for it, and I set my goals, and that was one of my dreams, and I accomplished that. Now, another one of my dreams, and if any people around me know, is to be an entrepreneurship. I've always believed in, like owning my own business or doing things like that. But along the way, I have been influenced by others. People have said, "Why are you doing that?" Okay. These are the type of things that might happen. But the core principle is you got to have clarity of your purpose. The second thing is mindful choices. You want to make conscious decisions that reflect what you truly want, not what's expected, not what's convenient or expected. So you got to make those. It's hard. That's hard to do. I don't know about you. It's hard for me. Make conscious decisions that reflect what you truly want, not what's convenient or expected. What I truly want, what you truly want. You have to make those decisions and live in a line. Your daily actions, your relationships, your habits, and your schedule should align with your deeper purpose. So everything that you're doing daily, basically you just take the small steps to get to that purpose that you want, that main purpose. Now, I don't know what your purpose is, but my purpose in life is to be happy and to be have financial freedom. That's what I want. That's what I want. Now, everybody knows that you are in charge of your own happiness. Okay, so I can control that. Okay. And I'm in the process of learning how to have financial freedom. And so I am sharing that with you. I'm sharing those principles that I have learned because I have learned them. I'm trying to get my act together. And by me trying to get my act together and learning, we can learn together. So so my actions, my relationships, my habits and schedules, it should align with my deeper purpose. And so I do have a schedule. I do things, I'm getting back into exercise. Don't you all see? Can't you tell all this energy and everything that I have? That's because I've started to get. I'm planning. I'm doing all these things. I'm trying to put these core principles into my life so that I can enjoy the rest of my life. So let's go on. That's number 3. I told you there are 5 of them. So now this one here, I think this might be the hardest one for me. Saying no with confidence. See, you need to protect your time and energy by learning to say no to distractions or obligations that don't serve your vision. How many times have you got hooked into something that you didn't want to be bothered with it because you didn't say no? You got to learn to say no. And quiet escape, my granddaughter, God bless her soul, told me that. She said, Granny, you have to learn how to say no sometimes. So you all can see that if she's telling me that that is something that I need to work with, you just can't do everything. Okay? And the last one, which is so appropriate, slowing down. You need to pause to reflect before rushing into commitment or routine. And I know that you all hear me say that word reflect quite often because that word reflect is very important. You need to reflect about your life. You need to reflect about the things that you do. Is it worth it? That's what it means by slowing down. Pause to reflect. And also reflect or pause before you rush into things. Something might, how people say it looks green on the other side. Okay, and then you get over there, it's not. So that's because maybe you need to pause to reflect before rushing, before rushing into anything. So we're going to take another commercial break here. because I've talked about the core. Let me look at my notes. Sometimes I get ahead of my notes. So we've talked about the core principles of intentional learning. So we're going to take that commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the benefits of intentional living, as well as ways to start living intentionally. So let's take that commercial. Hold on just one moment. All righty, we are back, and we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of intentional living. You know, this thing always does that to me. It's never like that when I, make it, but it does. But anyway, that's not important. What's important is the benefits of intentional living, which is less stress and more peace. If you're living with a purpose and doing the things that you like to do, you have less stress and more peace. So I tell my granddaughter and my daughter that I'm at peace right now. I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. Uh, I'm doing the things that I love to do. And God has blessed me. That's why I have sweet blessings. Because of the blessings that have been bestowed on me. So I feel like it's my duty to try to bless others as well, pay it forward. So another benefit, it gives you increased fulfillment and joy, which is what I have. I'm happy. I am happy. I am doing the things that I love. I love my crafts. I love my gardening. I love doing my podcast. Oh, my new baby is my travel business, so I love doing that too as well. I'm getting into it. I'm new at it, and I'm training for that. Okay, I'm just doing all kind of stuff, y'all. That just to increase my fulfillment and joy. Okay, I decided that I needed to take a business course. I needed help with my business finances, and I needed help with that. I couldn't do it alone, and so I got help. When you find that you cannot do it alone, you get help. You can't do everything, and you don't know everything. I don't know nothing about finance. I don't know those type of things. So it is what it is. Oh, CTR Media is telling me hello. Hello. But I just don't know all those things. Plus, it helps you with better time management. And so someone once said, I'm not going to say who it was, but they once said that and it's true though, we all have the same amount of time in the day, 24 hours. But sometimes it seems like other people accomplish more in their day. I don't have enough time to do everything I want to do, really. But I am a scheduled person. I use a schedule. I used to get up early. I'm maybe sometimes I'm in the bed at this time, but here lately I've had lots and lots of energy and I've been staying up like I used to, y'all. I'm getting, I don't know, something has motivated me. I'm getting more things done. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the benefits of intentional living. Am I getting everything done? No. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But I see progress. And that's the most important thing. My relationships with people are more meaningful. They're more meaningful. I don't hold it in. I say what's on my mind. I'm Anna. I'm going to be Anna. And I think that everyone should do that. And you'll have, just be yourself. People love you for yourself. Okay? Clarity on your personal and professional goals. Do you have both? I do. I have personal goals over here that I want to accomplish, and over here I have professional goals. Remember what I told y'all? I've got that entrepreneur spirit. I've always had it. And believe me, people that know me, they know that I have sold anything and everything. Because and I don't want anyone to get misled. But I enjoyed each one of those journeys, and I think each one of those journeys prepared me for where I am now. I truly believe that. And it's been a learning process. And even though it's been a long process, and I'm still learning, I still am going to go on and with it, no matter what. Because that is my dream. And I've always had big dreams, and I let people knock me down for my dreams. And so, even if I don't accomplish my dreams, but I plan to accomplish mine, I'm very goal orientated. But even if I didn't accomplish, I have the self satisfaction of knowing that I tried. And that's the most important thing, is that you tried. So that's some of the benefits of intentional living. So how do we start? So let me tell you, daily reflections on your own. Now, if you can't do it on your own, I do a daily reflection every day. I post a affirmation on my Facebook page every day. Let me show you. And I'm going to show you my Facebook page. But this is my Facebook page. And I every day. And I have a few groups that I share it to. And I'm going to tell you this too. When I get up in the morning, I do take that 5 to 10 minutes each morning or evening to reflect. There's that word again, yeah. Reflect. Reflect on my intentions. What am I trying to do? Okay. In the morning, I always thank God because I don't have to get up, and He gets me up. And then I look and I say, well, what do I have to do today? I go to my Facebook page, or I go into the bathroom and really truly, that's why I do brush my teeth and all that. So, you get a chance to kind of think. And then I come on in the kitchen and I make me some coffee and I do my exercise. Now, I don't exercise every morning, but I do try to get 3 to 4 times in a week. I've kind of got a routine, and I really and truly think that is what's making me feel better, is that routine. Because I really have been really, really feeling good. Another way is to have a vision board or values. And I know you've heard me talk about a vision board. I've told you that I have one on my refrigerator. I did mine on Canva, on the things that I wanted. I look at it, and I got to look at it every day because I'm going in and out of the refrigerator. So I got to look at it every day to remind me. It helps me visualize my goal and tasks that reflect, okay, that reflect me. So a vision board or value life map, it doesn't matter. Each one is basically the same, but I like the vision board because I like looking at it, and it's got everything on it. Yeah, spiritual, money, finance, vacation, family, all those things that I value. And as you can see, the next thing is value-based planning. And if you watched my episode on budget, this was one of the budget plans, which I had never heard of, which I feel like I need to be on. And from here forth, this is what I'm going on. Value-based planning. I'm going to choose goals and tasks that reflect my values, not trends or pressure. What is it that I want to do? And those are my goals. My goal was to help people. The podcast was one of those goals. I accomplished that. Don't ask me how. God just put it here, okay? Sweet Listines was a goal of mine. And let me tell y'all, Sweet Listine coming back. Yeah, I'm mapping it out now. I told you, when I say value-based, these things I value. I taught cake decorating for over 20 years, along with teaching school. And so I have a few little skills. And I'm going to share those skills with my clients and customers. I'm going to teach them those skills. So look forward to that. Sweet Listines, desserts. I'm going to be demonstrating all kinds of things. And I'm telling you this because that's one of my goals, among other things. Digital detoxing, which is something very hard to do. Reduce distractions by limiting screen time and social media. Now, that's hard to do because I'm on social media now, but I do limit it, y'all. And so sometimes when you all see that it takes me quite a while, or if I don't get back to you in a timely manner, is because it takes me a while to answer you. Right now, I might have 3 or 4 emails, and I can assure you the 2 main ones that I have, I get over 400 emails a day. And so I do look at my emails, but I cannot spend all that time on the email. I look at it early morning, sometimes midday, but most of the time early morning, late night is when I look at it. Or if it pops up on my screen and I see that it might be an emergency, I might answer it then. But I get so many. So you've got to reduce it so you can be able to do other things, because you can really get into social media. They got TikTok, YouTube, all of those things. So just pick a time. That's what I do. So you see me on all of those things. You'll see me on YouTube, you see me on TikTok, but I pick a time to do those things. So that's my Facebook, and I go live on that Facebook page, and I also go live on Instagram, and I go live The Facebook page is my personal profile, and I've been going live with that for quite some time, and I have quite a few followers. I have quite a few followers on Instagram too. But basically, I do my jewelry business on those two things, and that's one of my goals. I value that. I guess I found my niche. I love the jewelry. I've always loved jewelry. I piddly pattern in jewelry and all that stuff like that. But then this company really has really nice costume jewelry, and so therefore, and it was a reasonable price, and so therefore, I decided to venture off into that uh, business as well. So let's take. I think it's time for another commercial. I mean, this commercial's coming up here so quick. Okay. Okay, but did I go over all of those? I think I did. So we're going to take another commercial break. Or do I want to? Or do I want to go over? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this is ways to start living intentional. And I think I should give you all some examples. That's what I'm going to do that, and then we'll take that commercial break. It didn't know all of them with that international. So let's look at it in the different areas. Let's look at health. So in health, for intentional living, you could plan your meals and a schedule workout, not for trends, but to honor your body and energy. Okay. And that's what I do. I have started planning my meals. I have a time where I meal prep. And in the meal prep, I might do all my chopping. I'm telling you all, I got chopped green peppers, red pepper, onions, bell pepper, because when I go to the store and buy it, I chop it up. And I don't know if you all got all this, but all this got these little bags. They're little bags, and they have markings on them for like a fourth of a cup, a half a cup, uh, and so when I chop it up, I just put it in there. So if the recipe that I'm using calls for a half a cup, then I can just go in the refrigerator and get that. It's so much easier than me having to chop it up then because it's already there. So, and then I told you also that I have started to get back into my routine of exercise. And I'm telling y'all, that has been a challenge for me. And I think a lot I've been experiencing some, health issues. And I think a lot of those health issues might be in relationship to me not exercising and working out, because at one point I did a lot of working out, and I just, during COVID, you just stopped everything. It was hard to do that. And even though I could still do it at home, but that during that period of time, most of us, we were depressed. We just couldn't get out. You couldn't do nothing. You had to wear the mask, all those things. And so I kind of got out of it. And then I started having poor circulation. I started having problems with my heart, all kinds of things. But now, I'm feeling much better now. And so I say that to say, because you'll see me moving, because on YouTube, I do on YouTube, I do not YouTube, but TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I do what it's called a motivational movement, because I'm a move, baby. I say I'm going to move to the end. Okay. I'm going to move to the end. So Teresa says, thanks for sharing. I'm inspired. Thanks so much. I'm a work in progress. We'll check back. Good night. Work in AM. That's great. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Please check back. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, let's look at finance. So finance, you spend and you save in ways that support your long-term dreams. And so what this is where I fail because I can save. I'm a saver. I truly am a saver, but I spend it. And I think that the reason that I spend it is because, y'all not gonna believe it, I didn't have an emergency plan or emergency fund. See, you gotta have money to play with. And I didn't have that. So I didn't have that money to play with. So what did I use? I used the money that I saved because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. But then after a while, after you use all that, you ain't got no money. Okay. So I had to reassess my finances. So I have set myself up so that I could get myself on the right path. And I'm going to tell you this too, y'all. I have been on the right path and got off the right path because of those circumstances and those people who have influenced me. So I'm telling you this because I have made all of these mistakes. Okay. And then the next thing is in relationships, you want to surround yourself with people who uplift you and limit toxic influences. And that's so important. And it's hard to do, especially if you have someone that is in your immediate family. But sometimes you have to distance yourself from people. I can remember my mama saying, and I'm sure all of you have heard this one. Oh, Lord, because I would come home and I said, Mama, the other kids, Mama, they're not doing this. And she would be just as calm and peaceful. And she said, well, you know what? You need to hang around children or kids that have moms that think like your mom. I'm telling you, I'm 70, over 70, y'all, and I still remember that. There was a lesson learned. A lesson learned. And so sometimes people think I'm cold, but I'm not cold. I'm just, I'm reserved. I'm laid back. But I'm fun too. But you need to surround yourself around people that are going to uplift you, not bring you down. And that's the truth. And then in your work ethics, you want to choose projects and clients that align with your mission. And you don't want to do it just for money. You just don't. I'm not doing any of this for money. I ain't making no money. I'm doing this because it's a passion. I found, like I told someone tonight, I found that, and this is true, this is why I'm doing this podcast. When my mother had dementia, it always makes me want to tear up. And I just don't want to tear up. But I was so shocked that I didn't know what it was. And when I finally found out and knew what the symptoms were, I realized that my mother had had it for a long time and had been covering it up because a lot of times people would, it just depends on what type of dementia they have. They try to cover it up. And so I felt like in that age or as old as I was, and I didn't know there were other people that don't know. And so you'll see that my podcast is intentions about intentional living, preparing you, letting you know about the different things. In the process, I'm learning too. I mean, I learned so much in this finance. I learned so much about personal development when I did that. I learned so much about self-care because you don't know it all. You just don't know it all. All right, so We're going to take another commercial break, y'all. And then we're going to come back. And I believe I am going to, let me see what I'm going to tell y'all when I come back. We're going to talk about daily practices that you can start for intentional living. Because remember, intentional living is a process. Okay, it's a progress. It's not just going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just not going to happen. All right, let's take that commercial break. Hold on. Let me get it together. All righty, so I know, look, I know y'all think great, but Soul Lady Wigs is one of my affiliates, and I love their wigs, y'all. I really do. So, I do the commercials on, I'm sure you've seen me on TikTok with them and Facebook, but they look so natural. They're so nice and full. And I have several. And so I just wanted, occasionally I do wear them, because I want you to see, because I love them. I really do. And the link is down there. And if you use that link, you get a discount. So just letting you know. And if you don't have to look, just go and look. I mean, they have beautiful things, and they custom make your wigs. You can have them custom made and everything. But I have not been disappointed with them. With anything that they have sent me, and I have various sizes. I got the short ones. I have this. I have one here. The only one I don't have is a long one, so that's the next one I'm gonna get. I want I want one that's gonna be flowing, like like that. So I have a wardrobe, because you know what? Every time, y'all, I put on a different wig, I have a different personality. Don't try it. Try a wig. Okay. You can have the same hair too. But I wear wigs because I used to wear other things too, but and weaves and all that, but it took so I decided to go natural with my hair. So if I want to have straight hair, I can just pop on a wig or do all those things. I have a bad hair day. It's just wonderful. And as you can see, it just really looks good. So let me get back to my presentation here, so that about intentional living. Okay, and we just got through talking. If you just came back in, I'm Anna. I'm the host of Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and podcast, and I come to you on Wednesdays to inspire, to encourage, and empower you to live a healthier and blessed lifestyle. And so this evening we are talking about intentional living, and we are going to talk about this one here. Oh my God. It takes boldness. I just want to say this. It takes boldness to step away from the crowd and live authentically. And that's the truth. Because, like I said, in the younger days, remember what I said in those younger days, baby, we was all in the crowd. There was a hip crowd, a middle crowd, the lower crowd, however you had the crowd, There's the popular crowd, and everybody hung together. But as you got older, you stepped away from that crowd. So we're going to talk a little bit about declutter. And you got to do this, y'all. You got to declutter often. And I don't mean in one area. You got to declutter in all those areas. You got to declutter mentally. If something is bothering you mentally, you got to get rid of it. You got to declutter emotionally. You got to declutter physically. I think I'm decluttering with the exercise. I'm getting my body back to. I'm getting back to moving and stuff. And I realize that as people get older and they retire, they can't move. That's because they stop moving. They stop moving. Oh, baby, wouldn't that mean? Let me tell you, when I got out my car and could not walk from my car into Walmart's, I knew something was wrong. So I went to the doctor. I told me, when did this start happening? Oh, I had to go take all these tests. So, my arteries was closing up because I'm not using them. Baby, I better really, I better moving. You might even see me tonight moving, okay? I've been moving, but I do feel better. So, sometimes you just have to get that little kick, to kind of get you going. Let's see if I got anything else. Yes, I do have a little bit more to say. Questions to ask yourself regularly. Does this choice align with my purpose? I don't know. That's what you got to ask yourself. This next one is, am I living out my values or am I pleasing others? When I think about that, I think about people where their families want them to be a doctor or something, and they turn around and they're a chef because the doctor, that was not their values. Their values was being a chef. Sometimes parents, they disown their children for that, but they have a life and they should be able to live their life the way that they choose to live. So what if they make mistakes? We made mistakes. It's a learning process. What can I let go of to live more freely? And that's a heavy one. I can let go of a lot of things. A lot of things, you all, that I need to let go of, but I have not let go of. Who or what inspired me to be my best self? Well, it's been a lot of people. But I'm going to say the person that really inspired me the most was my mother. And I don't think any of y'all appreciate how much I appreciate her and how much she taught me. And I'm going to be honest, I was the typical child, Sometimes I listened, sometimes I didn't. But some of the mistakes and stuff in life that I have made is because I did not listen to her. Because she gave sound advice, whether it was personal or professional. Sometimes I listened and sometimes I didn't. And I think what children fail to realize is that it's not that the older people are trying to tell them what to do. It's just that we have wisdom and we've been through it. And we can give you some examples, okay, of what has happened to us. So hopefully you won't make those same mistakes. But maybe you will. And where do I need to slow down? Well, I've already told you I need to say no. Okay. I need to spend more time doing what I like to do. And that's what I'm going to do. And because of that, that is why I have started Anna's Lifestyle LLC.com. So all of this comes to, and it's not about me, but I want you to see how I have applied the things that I have learned during the course of the series that I have been doing on personal development, budgeting, finance, and all of that, plus the finance course that I've taken. I can't take, the thing. And I've come up with my business entity. And what I have done now there is I have grouped everything up under Anna's Lifestyles LLC.com. So jot it down, go check it out. The website is still in progress. I mean, it's live. I'm still doing things for it. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be offering classes. And so up under this umbrella is my podcast, Sweet Blessings. My dessert, Sweet Listings Dessert, is also up under it. And you'll be able to sign up for classes and things where I will be teaching you now. I'm going to do a few little demos and stuff like that to see if you might be interested in it. And I'm trying to, it'll be a little while, y'all. Just be patient with me, because when I do my classes, I want to be able to also tell you where to go get your supplies, so you won't have any problem. You don't have to go around looking, and you're going over here to this store and you're going over there. You'll be able to shop and get whatever you need. I mean, you can still go to all those stores, but you'll be able to shop and get whatever you need from me, from my store. And that's all I got to say about that. And so that's the podcast. Also, my Sweet Listings. I also have the Jazzy Jewels collection up under there. So you can always go there, and it's up on the accessories. And so you can go there, and you can also, it'll take you to my website. And I'm going to be doing blogs, and my blogs will be different. They'll be into different, my different areas. So right now I got a welcoming blog. I'll be putting out a new blog soon. I've also, like I said, it's a work in progress. I've got my email list together. I'm working on it, but I just wanted to introduce it to you. And I'm also going to have like my crafts, where I teach the kids and I teach other things. I'll be doing sewing and quilting in that, and giving little demos, and also putting things up for people to do. So like I said, my thing is all about living that fulfilling and blessed lifestyle. And then the last thing is up under that umbrella is my Tab Travel Agency. So I'm offering trips where you just put a tab on your travels all over the world. So go there, check it out. You can click on that. It'll let you see all of my trips. I tell people that's where you need to go, because on my page, I haven't put one trip. But on on Anna's Lifestyles LLC, you'll see all of the trips that I have that are available to you as well. Also, this is my email. This is my new email. So if you want to contact me, and you can contact me if you want to advertise, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to have a commercial, or even to be a guest. I do have a guest coming up next month. So contact me there at info at AnnaLifestyleLLC.com. You can set up a conference call with me. We can talk about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Also, but last but not least, I do want to ask you to support me on Facebook with stars. That is how they honor their people. So, my Facebook family, if you could please support me there. Also, the last thing is subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is also right there as well. So I think that is it. That's all I want to say. So let me give you a few little tips for different life areas for intentional living. And the first one is home. So you want to create a peaceful, I don't know if you all can see this, so let me read it. It's kind of small for me. So you want to create a peaceful space that reflects your joy and creativity. That's what you want to do in your home. And then finance, you want to spend according to what you value most, not for what's trending. Okay? You can't get that Michael Kors bag or those Jordan shoes. Okay? Those are trends, fads. In relationships, you nurture connections that energize and support you. And for your spiritual life, make time for prayer, reflection, or nature to stay centered. Now, I know you've all heard me say I like nature because I do, and I let me tell you, I'm an avid gardener, and so I have not videotaped, but I'm a videotape. It was raining today, I could do it, but the last couple of days I have been outside because all it has been doing, we have really been getting April weather now, okay, in May. And so I have not been able to attend to my garden. So the past 2 days, I got up at 6 in the morning. I was up at 6. I would only come in for lunch, eat me some lunch, and then I go back out. Okay. Um, I would do that. And so I'm trying to get that together, but I will be videotaping that as well. So I'm going to videotape it before and afterwards because I'm really working on it. And like I said, I can only do so much a day. So, and then the last one is career. So you want to choose work that brings fulfillment, not just a paycheck, because there's a lot of people out here working and, for a paycheck, and they're not happy. They're not happy. So you want to do some things that's going to make you happy and that you're going to uh, love doing. And I truly believe that is what intentional living is really and truly all about, y'all. And so this evening, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast. Now, we do have some upcoming events before we go that I need to let you know about. Okay. So I got Pastor Dr. Marilyn Fenderson. She's going to be my guest speaker on June 25th, 2025. And I just want to let you know that the next series that we will be going into is all about faith, spirituality. And so she is a great person for this. She has her own ministry. She's an author. She's a speaker. She has her own radio and TV program. She also has a podcast. She specializes in Christian marriage and self-published. She's a self-published author. So please tune in to listen to her. She's simply awesome. Okay. And then later on in the year, well, my next episode, it says financial literacy, but it's really on spirituality, which is what I just talked. We just kind of cleared up. I might talk a little bit about, because I am going to do an ebook on financial freedom. So get ready. So that's coming up. And then there is a summit that is coming up in October 11th, by the way, in South Carolina. If you're there, check it out. I don't know if you'll be able to get tickets. The tickets are almost sold out from what I understand. But we're going to have Dr. Michael Finley. He is a branding expert, and he does a lot of podcasting with celebrities. Okay. And then we have Nikki Ziegler. She is a visibility expert. She's new on our team. And I'm not really sure. She does quite a bit of interviewing, with people. Lee Williams is a wealth expert, and I'm going to tell you all, I got the pleasure of meeting him in one of my classes, and he was such an awesome speaker. I'm looking forward to maybe sitting down and discussing my business with him on a financial level, because I've told you I'm getting these financial people to help me with my things. And then we have Dr. Mary Hancock, and she is a grant expert. So she is one of the coaches in my class, and so she is helping me and others in our class to get grants. So if you can make it, come. It is just going to be a worthwhile event. This is I believe the second one. The first one I was not able to attend. It was a conflict in schedule. I'm just so glad that I'm able to make this one. So I will be there. Come on, you can meet me. Come on, so you can just meet me as well. So I want to thank you again. As I say this, I thank you for attending Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, encourage, and empower you to live a fulfilling lifestyle. So this evening, I'm hoping that I have inspired you. I'm also hoping that I have encouraged you. But most of all, I'm hoping that I empowered you to live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. So as we go out, I do have some recognition, and I want to share with you about my sponsors. And so I will be looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday at Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where every conversation is a treasure. 3 L's, y'all. I'm not going to forget my 3 L's. You want to live your life. You want to laugh. And you want to love. Make sure you love yourself. Have a great evening. See you next Wednesday on Spiritual Growth.